Talkin Money.
Well, alrighty then. We're back to Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell.
Welcome back, everybody, for Hour 2 of Talkin Money Show. This is Colin Grail, substituting for vacationing Jeff Tarbell. Also in the studio with me, I have Monica Reyes. We are certified financial planners with Westlake, Grail & Glover in Granite Bay, California. Westlake, Grail & Glover, the partners of Westlake, Grail & Glover also own a business called Swiss Avenue Partners located in Granite Bay. And we are fortunate to have on the line with us today Sandy Burton, who is the president and founder of Swiss Avenue Partners, headquartered in Austin, Texas, and also the founder of a program called Think Big, an MBA-style program for small businesses. Before we get started back with Sandy, we had a quiz question before the end of the hour, which we do not have an answer yet for. So I'm going to throw it out there one more time. I'll give you some clues, and maybe we'll get some answers before our next break. Who is the youngest female billionaire without the help of an inheritance or a husband? And this person is a sole owner of her company. And if anybody has ever heard of the word Spanx, if you have Google and you can type Spanx, you can find out the answer to this. All right. So, again, I have Sandy Burton, president and founder of Swiss Avenue Partners, on the line with us. And welcome back, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you for
having me.
You bet. Thanks for giving us your middle of your Saturday to be part of this conversation. So, I've also got Monica in here with me today on the call, and she'd like to throw out a couple questions to you also.
Good morning, Sandy.
Okay. Hi, Monica. Good morning.
All right. Well, appreciate you being in with us. And I just want to let everyone know out there that I have participated in the Think Big workshops that Sandy graciously provides. And, what I've found is that there's a lot of answers pertaining to the question I have, which is, what do you see as the biggest opportunity or set of roadblocks that small business owners really need help with?
That's a great question. I get that a lot, actually, Monica. A lot of businesses get stuck in the day-to-day. Right back in the beginning, before they started their company, they had an idea and a vision of what they were going to be doing, what they were going to be selling, what they're going to be, creating or adding to the world. And pretty soon they get busy just ticking things off the list and trying to get through the day-to-day and stay caught up. So one of the biggest things that we have found is just helping business owners take some time to step away, step out of the business. It's that old adage you've heard 1,000 times, working on the business, not in the business. But we're actually helping people to learn how to work on the business and not in the business. And it just, when they're constantly working in the business, they're just tinkering around with stuff all day long. And it keeps them from really connecting to where they're trying to get to and what they're trying to create with their organization.
Wonderful. I know I get bogged down by emails, so maybe that's one of those in my business, not on my business type of tasks. So I'm raising my hand and saying I'm one of those. So I appreciate it, Sandy. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Sandy, I guess, we've gone through a pretty traumatic time in the economy the last 4 or 5 years. And, some businesses have made it, some haven't. And, what are we learning about some of the businesses that have made it? Why did some make it and some didn't through this time?
Well, I'll tell you, my partner, Linus Jurassius, and I, about 3 years ago, spoke at the Roseville Chamber of Commerce does an event every year, and we were one of the 2 breakout sessions a few years ago, and I actually talked a little bit about this topic as well. And, there's an attitude difference. Businesses that didn't make it versus businesses that have made it, the attitude for some was, look, this is a scary time. Let's batten down the hatches and ride out the storm. Those businesses really didn't look at what they need to change, what they need to be flexible with in their organization, and how they need to change with the times. The businesses that we've seen that have actually not only made it, but are thriving, sort of riding the wave, if you will, coming out of that. I would say, honestly, I'd say there's 3 sort of determining factors that business owners have that really help them get through what it takes in times of stress or times of recession. One is really determination. As a business owner, you are constantly going to hit obstacles, constantly, whether it's the economy or something else. Unforeseen circumstances that are just going to, if you allow it, they're going to beat you down. And if you have a good strong set of head on you, that you can have some great determination and get through that and not get demoralized through it. A second characteristic is about being flexible. And, you can be determined and inflexible, and that's not a great quality as a business owner. But if you are determined and flexible, as you hit those roadblocks and things come up, you're able to shift and change not only how you're going to get through them or maybe even what your goals are that year, but you might even have to shift and change who you are as a business, what your business is to the world. And you might even need to consider revamping your pricing strategy, your product or service mix, really looking at the business model that you have and changing with the times. And any recession is always going to be one of the most challenging times to have to be flexible in that regard. And then the third one is probably what got most business owners started in the first place, and that's a really strong imagination. Because as you're having to hit these obstacles and fit new strategies around them, it is about thinking outside the box, but it is about taking hold of new ideas and being imaginative about how those ideas are going to take your business into the next stage of growth and the next stage of what your business is about. So I've seen business owners who just get stuck in, hey, it's always worked for us before, let's not change it. It's a proven method, but it doesn't always work. And as things shift, as the seasons change, a business owner really needs to be flexible enough and get creative enough to go, okay, things are different. What do we need to do differently? And in every aspect of the business. But you mentioned, a few aspects earlier. One is cultural, one is strategically, one is operation. So you definitely have to look at how you're going to do things differently instead of just saying, let's stick to the same old routine because it worked before.
Thanks, Andy. And one of the things that I'm seeing with business owners is that, some of these business owners, it's been a tough stretch. They're working harder and making less money than they were 4 or 5 years ago. They're tired. They're not inspired. And when they start looking forward, they're thinking, do I have enough energy to do this again? And do I really have the ability to work harder? So as we look at companies and start digging in and doing some of the work that Swiss Avenue Partners and the Think Big program teaches business owners to do, does it always mean working more and increasing the load and working harder?
Oh, gosh, no. Thankfully, the answer to that would be no.
Good.
Good answer.
I was sitting on the edge of my seat. Give me good news, Sandy.
Yeah. Look, Colin, there really is a difference between working harder and working smarter.
I know that's a cliche, but I think it's hard for business owners to get that energy up to say, do I have another push in me for the next 5 years or 10 years?
Yeah, and part of it is really finding good people to help you take your business to the next level. I read an article a few years ago that just never got out of my head, and it was about Michael Dell and how he built his business. And part of what he looked at in who he wanted to choose for his team was he chose people that had already taken a business to the next level where he wanted to go. Like, he put people on the team that he knew could create something for his business where he didn't have to carry the weight of coaching the rest of the team, if that makes sense. So part of it, honestly, is getting some really good, solid resources, whether it's in your business, hired staff, or whether it's just the resources of folks that you're leaning on, your business attorney, your CPA, your financial planner, the folks that, do you have a great bank that's really working with you? Because if you're stuck as a business owner and you're the smartest person in the room, it's a lot of responsibility, and one person can't always think of everything. So you want to have some really strong, talented folks on your team that are looking out for your business as much as you are. And it's a hard place to get those folks. And sometimes you have to go through a few to get to the ones that you really know are working for you. But man, when you find them, it'll hit you in between the eyes like a bullet, because you really understand when someone is really truly working for you and your business and how it's leveraging you as a business owner. It really can make a huge difference.
Okay, thank you, Sandy. We're going to go to a commercial break here shortly, but before we do that, I wanted to give a little bit of information out before we go to the break. We'll come back to the break and continue this discussion. But Sandy, I know there's a program that's going to be a workshop going on in Sacramento in a couple weeks, and could you just take 60 seconds and talk about that?
Yeah, that's actually on Thursday the 5th, and we're actually doing a double header that day. We're doing a workshop and talking about two different topics. So one is getting things done, which actually refers to what we were just talking about, and really understanding a tool that business owners can use right away to look at how they're leveraging their time. Using this tool, any business owner should be able to find anywhere from an hour to 5 hours a week that they didn't have before. And then the other piece that we're actually adding in as sort of a bonus to that workshop is creating more referrals. So helping business owners understand how to get pre-sold referrals that are ready to buy. And we have a whole methodology around that and how to generate those and how to tap into those and really make use of them. And it can be a really profitable way to get to the right clients quickly, the ideal clients quickly.
Okay, Sandy, thank you. And we'll give everybody information on how to sign up for that if they choose to. We're going to go to the commercial break here in a moment. From our last commercial break, we finally did get an answer from CJ, who won some ski passes for answering who was the youngest female billionaire. She developed Spanx, and I didn't even know what Spanx was, but now I do. And they actually do Spanx for males, too, which is a whole other discussion. But the lady's name is Sarah Blakely, age 41, billionaire, owns 100% of the company, has never done any advertising, and so it's worth looking up on. It's pretty inspiring.
God bless you, Sarah Blakely. Women out here love you.
So as we go into the break, I've got another quiz question where we can give away some more ski passes or Jim Boy's tacos. And the question is, Swiss Avenue Partners was named after a street in a U.S. major city. What major city has a street named Swiss Avenue? With that, we'll be right back.